You all know me, you know how much I love film, you know how much I love the movies. In fact, you know how much I love going to the theater. The theater is my church, and of course, not every picture is worth seeing in the theaters. However, when you go, sometimes that is just the way to experience a film. But the CEO of Netflix has basically said, yeah, no, theaters are outdated, and we effectively want to put them out of business. So welcome back to Words Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and yeah, let's go over what the fool that heads up Netflix said about the theater model being outdated. Before we get into this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news nearly every day, and we're going to be on one today, folks, because this really rubbed me the wrong way. Netflix CEO says movie theater system is an outdated concept, believes the streamer is saving Hollywood. Imagine the arrogance here, that the streamer is saving Hollywood. First of all, Netflix is like one of the only streaming services that's in the black. All the rest are still in the red. I don't think Disney Plus has turned a profit yet. I think it's exclusively Netflix, Hulu. Maybe HBO's turned a profit by now, but I'm not entirely sure. Either way, it's streaming services aren't saving Hollywood, and Netflix for damn sure ain't. Do they got some good stuff now and again? Absolutely. But as a whole, people bitch and moan about the quality of what's going on at Netflix, and of course the ideologies and things like that happen at Netflix. So yeah, first of all, I like that my boys over here bounding in the comments, BSC, showing an image of Happy Gilmore 2, because for whatever reason, I got faith in Happy Gilmore 2. I think it's going to be a good, fun movie. Ever the company's biggest cheerleader, Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos believes that not only is the overall concept of the movie theater experience completely outdated, but that the streaming giant's disruption of traditional release norms is actually saving the Hollywood industry. How arrogant, how just up your own ass must you be to think that you are the one saving Hollywood when the theater model has, by and large, been the model since the inception of films? Because we've seen movies coming out like Sinners that's making money. We see films, these big tentpole films like, the Avengers movies or whatnot, when they were still good, that are doing insane numbers. What about little indie releases that cost $15 million, like Godzilla Minus One, which did gangbusters, the Mario Brothers movie, gangbusters, Oppenheimer, gangbusters. Now, is every film like this? No, of course not, but that speaks more to the bad output of Hollywood than what the theaters are doing. I mean, it also speaks to how much we're relying on China, because, that's a whole different discussion. The point is, so many films that are on Netflix probably could have been in the theaters, and it would have been fine. Would have turned out okay. How much money are those movies really making when they are releasing direct to Netflix? But he goes on to say, Sarandos, who served as Netflix chief content officer for slightly over 2 decades before being promoted to his current role in 2020, offered this bold self-progress report while speaking with Time Magazine editor-in-chief Sam Jacobs during the recent 2025 Time 100 Gala Summit. Have you destroyed Hollywood? Jacobs asked to open their time together, per recaps of the discussion provided by the Hollywood Reporter and Variety. No, replied Sarando. We're saving Hollywood. How? How are you saving Hollywood? Because I get that Hollywood's in dire straits, and frankly, they did it to themselves, what with everything they've been putting in their films, the lack of quality in writing, again, the over-reliance on ideologies, or the over-reliance on playing it safe so that they can make sure their movies make it to China, because the international box office is, where they're getting at least 34%, if not more, of their money. Like, there's creative bankruptcy, there's sequels and prequels and spin-offs, and it's nothing original. Like, that's happening on Netflix as well, or other streaming services as well. So what are you doing to save Hollywood beyond keeping movies that would make money out of the theaters? I mean, stick to TV shows if that's what you're going to talk about. From there, offering his thoughts on just why Netflix is currently thriving while the traditional studio system is struggling to survive, the CEO asserted, Netflix is a very consumer-focused company. We really do care that we deliver the program to you in a way that you want to watch it, he continued. We really do care that we deliver the program to you in a way you want to watch it, and it's a program that you love and desire, so don't let a lot of outside forces get in the way of that. If that be the case, then how come almost all your shows nosedive after season 2, and by season 2, if not 3, are largely canceled? Like you can count on maybe, one, if not 2 hands, how many truly great series are on Netflix that have gone on more than 2 or 3 seasons. And frankly, most of them end up falling off. Looking at you, Stranger Things. So yeah, if you're talking about, we give the consumer what they want. Did the consumers want cuties? Do they want your basically like soft core pedophilic shit? Is that what they wanted? You're saying all the people that watch Netflix are pedos? Like, what do you mean you're giving people what they want? I get it. It's got some good films. The Extraction films are good. Hell, I'm an Adam Sandler fan, as I mentioned above with the Adam Sandler stuff, and he's got that exclusivity deal with Netflix. He's released some of his better work in the recent years to Netflix. So it's not that they are completely bad, not that everything they release is terrible, but let's be real. What about you is consumer friendly? Sure, you can say, oh, people don't have to go out. Oh, okay, but going out is part of the human experience. You can't just expect people to stay in their homes locked up all the time. Like, there's a certain level of community, a communal event that comes with the advent of going to the theater. So keeping that from people or getting people to forget what that experience is like actually does more harm to Hollywood and to the industry as a whole than good, at least in my opinion. He goes on to say, to this end, Sarandos then pointed to the ongoing decline of global box office polls and asked, what does that say? What is it the consumer's trying to tell us? They like to watch movies at home, thank you? No, you're taking the complete wrong message, dipshit. I mean, yes, there are going to be some folk that do prefer the at-home experience. That's of course going to be the case. There's movies I don't want to go to the theater for. I say I'll wait for it on streaming. But that's not because I want to watch it at home. That's because I don't want to watch it. Like, if I'm gonna watch it at home, it's more just like so I can have the discussions with it with my friends, or talk about it for a YouTube video or whatever it may be. It's not because I would rather watch the movie specifically at my home. In fact, I think many people are like me, and they prefer the movie theater experience. They want to go there. They want the giant screen, the booming surround sound, the popcorn, the pretzels, again, the communal experience. I, no goddamn way, would have wanted my first time seeing Sonic 3 to be at home. Dude, there were people cheering at the end of that movie. The post-credits scene, people exploded and applauded. Same with Godzilla Minus One. Godzilla Minus One, there was an uproar of applause when it ended. You ain't getting that at home, and that communal experience is what drives film fans and people, cinephiles the world over together. The reason the box office is failing is because of the quality of content that's being put out. Now, to Netflix credit, they've put out some decent quality content, and again, it's stuff that, frankly, I would have seen in theaters. I would have watched the Extraction films in the theaters, but they were straight to Netflix. It's because the quality of the film, or lack thereof in most instances. The studios and theaters are duking it out over trying to preserve this 45-day window that is completely out of step with the consumer experience of just loving a movie, the CEO opined. But it's not about just loving a movie. Do you know how distracting it is knowing that at home, like, oh man, be on my phone, if I need to go to the bathroom, I can pause it. Like, no, that's some weak sauce shit. You sit down in that movie, you're like, I'm locked in, and you are focused on that. You're not playing fucking Angry Birds or whatever. You're not getting up to make yourself some snacks or whatnot, and then you're missing part of it, and you're like, oh, whatever, I can just rewind. No, you're in the moment. You're locked in. You're free of the outside world. This is your time of communal escapism. Especially if you're going with friends, man. Me and my homie, when we went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine, like, it was great. We went to the Alamo Draft House. We got a few drinks, some Deadpool-themed drinks. We're watching the movie. My car broke down afterwards, but you know what? I will always have that memory. It's kind of bananas that this is the mentality he's got. Or is he just shilling for his company because, streaming probably is the future, regardless of what cinephiles like myself think. Studios and theaters, right. We're in a period of transition. Folks grew up thinking, I want to make movies on a gigantic screen and have strangers watch them and have them play in the theater for 2 months and people cry and sold out shows. It's an outdated concept. Why is that outdated? That sounds like a dream. Like, it's the old concept. It was said in The Incredibles. When everyone's super, no one will be. When everyone's a filmmaker, no one will be. When everyone's famous, no one will be. When everyone can just get on SoundCloud or whatever and make their own shitty raps, guess what? When everyone's a musician, no one is. That's why the greats stand out. The things that come out that are truly great. And where do those truly great things go? To the theaters. What's the last truly great film there was a Netflix original? Maybe The Irishman, but let's be real. How many of y'all that saw The Irishman at home actually finished it in one sitting or finished it at all? Whereas if you'd gone to the theater to see that shit, you'd have been locked in. Hopefully there was an intermission. Also, when they do these Lord of the Rings re-releases or these Star Wars re-releases, why does it always go to theaters and not one time only on Netflix? Because they know that it's gonna bring people in. They know the communal experience. They know that there's a level of almost FOMO to it. You're not gonna get that with Netflix. It's not an outdated concept. You're just homogenizing filmmaking in a way that honestly makes it less special. Pressed by Jacobs as to whether he thought making movies for movie theaters for the communal experience, bingo, bango, bongo, was an outmoded idea. Sanders affirmed, I think it is. For most people, not everybody. What he's about to say here is truly retarded. If you're fortunate to live in Manhattan, and you can walk to a multiplex to see a movie. That's fantastic, he argued. Most of the country cannot. Whoop-de-doo. Then they don't get to see it in theaters. They can see it when it drops on Netflix after 2 months or whatnot. However, or you could be a good loving dad and want to take the wife and kids out, and you'll drive that 30 minutes into the city once a month or once every couple months for a special treat for your kids, and now your kids have those memories. If you want to go to the movie theater, because I remember growing up as a kid, we didn't go to the movie theater very often. Well, okay, that's not true. We went to the drive-in, and we went to the drive-in probably every weekend. Every summer. We loved it. We were doing double features. We were having a great time. And I have those memories. I wouldn't have half the memories of the movies I saw. They wouldn't have stuck with me. I was just sitting around and watching them at home because you could do that all day, all the time, every day. No, the memories came from bonding with my family, that we went and did something together as a family. So I'm sorry, but you're even, in my opinion, tarnishing the idea of what it's like to build memories with your family by trying to, once again, homogenize the film-going experience. I find this to be just disgusting. Closing out his thoughts on this particular part of the discussion, Serranos told Jacobs that while the ongoing implosion of the theater model does not bother him, what would bother me is people stop making great movies. If we want people to watch them the way we want to watch them, he declared, then people won't be able to make movies anymore because there won't be a business for it. There will always be a business for film. The question remains, is there going to be individuals who are good at making film? Are we going to continue to have talented writers? We're going to continue to have talented directors, choreographers, the people doing the sound design, the set design, things to that effect. That is where we're at a loss, and we're at a loss mainly because Hollywood doesn't care what the vast majority of America, specifically middle America, thinks. They're too up their own ass in their own ideological bubbles. But you know what? We see that shit on Netflix as well. I mean, again, look at Disney Plus, for example. Daredevil Born Again, the show that was the follow-up to the greatest show Netflix has ever done, mind you. The greatest thing Netflix ever put out was their live-action Daredevil adaptation. And now we got Season 4, the revival that's debuted on Disney Plus. And it didn't even chart on the Nielsen. Not a single episode charted on the Nielsen charts. That doesn't speak to, if it was on Netflix, people would have watched the issue. Or no, it speaks to an overall quality and apathy from the consumers. Again, as much as I hate to give Disney credit, you really try to tell me that, no one wants to see movies at the theater, they want to see it at home, when Mufasa ended up beating out Sonic the Hedgehog 3 for a near $1 billion... Yeah, no. You're full of shit, and I can't abide by it. This is purely self-glazing and trying to change the market, trying to shift the way people think about film going, and trying to take the experience of film out of the hands of people who actually love and care about the craft, and basically trying to make it an assembly line product for everybody. And film is still art, and it should never be that. If you haven't seen Sinners, go see Sinners. That should be proof enough for you. But those are just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X, find me at Bolt the Word. And please do subscribe. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news nearly every day. Not always about the movie industry, but anime, video games, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check me out on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon, and become a member for $4.99 a month. You can join the Discord, choose the articles I go over on a day-to-day basis, choose the videos I react to on my Friday night live streams, and of course, get involved with over 180 other vital idols. We are a bright, beautiful, glowing, vibrant community that I cannot wait to grow even further, because we do care about diversity. There's only one kind of diversity of thought. If that's interesting to you, join the Discord, hit subscribe, and until next time, it's all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.